Okay, we are going to try this again. Let's check out and see how we're doing here with this lag that I had last night. I was on the phone a long time today with Habib from India or Pakistan or one of them foreign countries. It's pretty amazing, but he was very helpful. Okay. They do not want to send a technician out to your house. They will do everything they can on the phone to solve the problem. And I was trying to eat my lunch at the same time. Let me find my chat box here. Where'd it go? I lost it somewhere. I was trying to eat my lunch at the same time and he called me. Anyways, here was the problem. This right here. This is a USB-C to Ethernet adapter for my MacBook. Now, fortunately for me, I have two of these, okay? We checked the ports in the back of the modem. We did all kinds of crazy stuff. And then when I got down to this seemed to be the culprit right here. So when I put the other dongle on, the speed came back. So last night I was only running about 120 megabits per second. Now I'm back up to 1,000. Okay, so it was really slow last night, and that's probably why we had the lag in the video. First time I've ever had that kind of failure. Anyways, welcome to the live stream. What we got going on here? We got Folk Art and Camera. We've got Kevin from Nature Photo Studios. Woody's in there. Terrell's probably in there somewhere. Yeah, leave me a comment in there if you want to. We're going to get into this. So about a week ago, I did a show on Nikon gear, and I told you that the rumor mill was circulating that Nikon was going to have a price increase on September the 1st. They did, okay? Pretty drastic too, okay? I don't know if y'all looked at it or not. We're going to look at it together tonight. But let me read you what Nikon said in their announcement today. Nikon announced a second U.S. price increase. This one is effective September the 1st. Nikon cited the impact of new and escalating tariffs. This follows an earlier round of price hikes. Hold on a minute here. Let me get my fingers right. Nikon had previously, this followed a round of price increases back in June 23rd, I believe it was. And I went back and looked. The price increases back in June mainly only affected lenses, not camera bodies, all right? Anyways, Nikon said they initially absorbed that first round of 10% tariff hikes back in June. But they said subsequent increases and reset trade deal thresholds, they have now passed the added cost on to consumers, okay? And that's pretty reflected in what we're going to look at tonight. Unlike June, where just a few Nikon products were affected, this latest adjustment includes both cameras and lenses, including popular mirrorless models and NIKKOR Z lenses and accessories, much broader than the prior increase, okay? Now, one thing about this particular increase that's really hitting home really hard is Nikon had rebates all through the month of August. Pretty good deals on some cameras, okay? If you wanted to buy a camera, and August was the month to do it in. So when the deals went off, hey, Walt, how you doing? When the deals went off Sunday night at midnight, the price increase went into effect at the same time. So it was like a double whammy. And it was quite a sticker shock, okay? Examples of some of the increases that we're going to see tonight. The Z6ii went from $24.99 to $26.99. The Z50 Mark II went from $909 to $1,099. And the D780, yeah, they're still producing the D780, went from $19.99 to $21.99. What I've seen by studying these and doing my spreadsheet that I do, and we're going to look at that in just a minute, most of the camera bodies that were affected by this was the semi-pro and the pro bodies. Yeah, we're going to get into those and look at those in just a second. But here's the thing, it's not just Nikon. All three major brands, Canon, Sony, and Nikon, are passing U.S. import tariff costs onto consumers through higher prices. These increases will vary by product and strategy. Now, what I mean by that is this. What I've seen is the increases, like you take a Z9 that got increased by $700, all right? But then you look down the scale a little bit and you go backwards, you know, to like the Z50 Mark II. Well, it was only increased $100. So I think what they're looking at is the strategy is that, okay, can the consumers, not the pros, okay, because the pros are always going to buy the gear they need, but the consumer market, can they handle a $100 price increase? I don't think the normal consumers could handle a $700 price increase. Anyways, with these tariffs, with tariffs expected to rise, these trends may persist into the holiday season and beyond. So they were talking about different things that could happen around Black Friday and Christmas and what have you. I'm just going to finish this off real quick. This is not about Canon and Sony, but just a reflection on them. Canon and Sony also had price increases, so it's not just Nikon. Canon raised their prices on June 23rd on most cameras and lenses from what I'm hearing. The R1 went up $500, the R3 went up $300, and their other models, the R7, R8, R50, R10, R100, all increased by $50 to $200. Canon may have just increased their prices again September 1st because, from what I'm understanding here, let me see where that was. I was doing some reading about this latest round of tariffs, what the amounts were, depending on the country it was originating from. Where is that? Am I missing a page somewhere? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the new tariff rates that went into, I had it written down. For the new tariff rates that went into effect on September the 1st is Japan products was 15%, Thailand products was 19%, and the Chinese products coming from China are 30%. So depending on where the camera bodies were coming from, Japan, Thailand, or China, depending on the amount of tariffs that's being charged. So that might have been a reflection on these higher prices. Like, I don't know where the Z9 is made. I don't research all that, but if it was made in China, then it had a 30% price increase based on tariffs on September the 1st. Anyways, Sony raised most of its imaging products back on June 23rd, and according to my sources, they ranged anywhere from 7 to 34%. A7R5 went from $3,900 to $4,200, and A9 III went from $59.99 to $63.99, which is a $400 increase. Here's the predictions for the holiday deals and Black Friday, end of the year stuff. Rebates instead of price cuts. Expect bundles, extra battery, grips, bags, memory cards, rather than large discounts, since tariffs inflated baseline prices. Going by each manufacturer, what they typically do, Canon will likely push the kit discounts on the R7, R10, and R50 and the mid-range RF lenses. Sony may offer cashback promotions. Sony's kind of famous for that in the US anyways, especially on the A7 IV and the older models like the A7R4. Nikon may reintroduce temporary rebates like we just had in August. So watch out if you're looking for a ZF or a Z5 II or a Z6ii for the possibility of a rebate type of deal coming out. But right now, it's pretty bad, okay? So let's get into the spreadsheet right here, and I'm going to show this to you real quick. I redid the spreadsheet yesterday, and we're going to start right here at the top with the D850. And I've added some lenses to this list and a few camera bodies, kind of trying to complete my spreadsheet a little bit. And it takes a lot of time for me to compile this spreadsheet. I have to go and on B&H and look up the new prices, the current prices. Then I have to go over to MPB and look up the used prices for this gear. And then I also got to create a fictitious quote on MPB to find out what MPB is going to pay you for this gear. Okay, so it's kind of it takes me a long time to do this, several hours to do this. So anyways, the D850. Last 2 weeks ago, August the 14th compared to September the 2nd, you could buy the D50 during the rebate period for $18.96. Today it's $25.96. Okay, so that is a $700 increase. The D780 was $14.96. It's now $21.46. So it went up. The D7500. Now here's an example of consumer versus pro. The D7500 is a DX crop sensor body. They're still making it. You could have bought one last month for $746. It's back to its regular price of $996. They did not really increase the price of the D7500. It was on rebate last month, and now it's back to its regular price. And here's the thing, D500, it has totally disappeared from the B&H website, except for the gray market kit version with the 16 to 80 lens. You can buy it for about $2,200, but the body only gray market is not up there anymore. So, you know, D500, the only way you're going to get one of those these days is to buy a brand new one. Okay. Let me see what we got here. I'm going to catch up on the comments real quick. Terrell's driving. Okay. Be careful, Terrell. Yeah, Walt says, to me, there's not an issue because I never buy new. That's good. I try not to either. That refurbished Z8 price last month of $2,900 looks pretty good right now. Hell yeah, it does. Joe. Walt says, I do like the vintage lenses, and in terms of cameras, I do like my DSLR, and my Z50 is enough. I might purchase later a D810 for the 36 megapixel. I had somebody reach out to me last week that I know. He's a bird photographer. He's got a D750 with about 3,000 or 4,000 shutter clicks on it, an 85 1.8 and a 50 1.8. I'm not sure if they're G lenses or D lenses. That he wants $800 for that package. Okay, not a bad price, but I'm not in the market for a D750. Walt, what they need to do is manufacture in the USA. Yeah, well, maybe. I don't think they're going to. I mean, did Nikon ever manufacture in the USA? No, they started out in Japan, didn't they? Mr. Saldano, I think Nikon is all Thailand and Japan. Most likely, yes. There are some products that are Chinese. Okay, I want to say. Let me look at my Z6ii right here. I'm going to look and tell you. No, it's made in Thailand. You know, I want to say they may have something they make in China, but I'm not too sure what it would be. Yeah, Nature Photo Studios. Now, here's the thing. The 20 millimeter 1.8 Z lens did not go up, okay? It stayed the same. I've actually added that lens to my list. You can still buy it for $11.46. It did not increase prices. We're going to go over that when we get to it. Tony Blackwell. Hey, Tony Blackwell. I bought a new D780 on March the 4th from B&H for $13.96. Well, if you want one today, it's $21.46, okay? The D780 is a really unique hybrid camera. I had one for a while. It's a DSLR until you put it in live view. And when you put it in live view, it's like a mirrorless camera. I'm not too sure what Nikon was thinking about when they developed that camera, but it took excellent pictures. I still have those photographs I took with a 16 to 35 f4 in my Lightroom catalog. And it did a really good job. Anyways, let's go on down the list some more. A Z9, last month, $51.96. Now $58.96, $700 increase. See where we're going with this pro stuff. A Z8 was $36.96, not quite as bad of an increase, but still $600. Excuse me. It's now $42.96, and the Z6ii went from $21.96 to $26.96. Isn't that back to where that was the release price of that camera body? Or maybe more? I don't know what the release price was on it now. You can still buy a Z7 II. Okay, why you'd want to, I'm not too sure. I'd buy the Z8 instead, but you know, for the full for the high megapixels. But last month you could have bought one for $19.46, and now they're $24.96. The Z6ii, you can still buy it. That was a steal. Last month was $14.96. Now it's $17.46. Z5 II went from $16.96 to $18.46. So you see what I'm saying here. These lower end cameras like the Z5 II and the Z6ii, their price increases were smaller than the pro bodies. Okay, you got the Z5 went from $1,096 to $14.46. I look for them to discontinue that pretty soon, along with the Z50. The original Z50 has already been discontinued. You can buy it on the used market. The Z50 Mark II went from $907 to $1,006, $100. Okay, that's all the increase was on that. Yeah, I heard some rumors about some of these new camera bodies. One of the cameras I need to add to the bottom of this is the ZF. Okay, I just realized that. I'm going to make a note to myself here to add the ZF. Okay. Now let's look at the used prices, because the used prices changed also with this. MPB adjusted their prices accordingly. So if you go look at last month's, if you want to buy a used D850, last month it was $14.29. Now it's $14.69. I know that's not a lot of money, but they did increase. The same with the D780. They went from $11.59 to $12.19, and the DX, the 7500 DX, the crop sensor body did not go up. It actually went down a few dollars. Now, if you want to sell your gear, this is where it makes a big difference. Okay, to you all. If you were going to sell a D850 last month, they would have given you $710 for it. But if you sell it this month, it's $945. The price went up on how much you can get for your gear. The D780 also went from $565 up to $700. And the D500 pretty much stayed the same, okay? It didn't really, you know, they raised the price of what they're selling them for, but what they're giving you for it is $445. If that's all you're going to get for a D500, I would never sell it to them. The Z9, if you had last month, if you had one you were selling to MPB, they would have given you $27.20, and now they're giving you $2,800. A Z8 was $23.20. It stayed the same. They didn't raise the price on that yet, and they may be staggering their prices. You know, I may go out there and check today, and these could change, but these were as of yesterday. The Z6ii, you could have sold it to them for $14.20. That's a $1,000 hit, okay? And this month it's $14.20. The Z7 II went up a little bit, $975 last month, and they're giving you $1,000 for it now. And the Z6 II, I didn't track that last month, but if you want to sell them your Z6 II, it's $790. Now, I will tell you this, the Z6 II, as 6 months ago, you could have got $950 for it. So it's come down quite a bit, what they're giving you for it. Anyways, you can see the trend here. And, you know, I'll tell you what, I'll make an offer to you. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet sent to you, find my email on my on my channel. Okay, you can find it. Send me an email. Say, hey, Ron, I'd like to have a copy of that spreadsheet. I'll send it to you if you're interested. Let's jump down into the lenses, okay? The top part of this right here, these are your Z mount lenses, and then the bottom part is the F mount lenses. So this is the one that really pissed me off, okay, because I was looking to buy one of these. The Nikon 100 to 400 was $24.46 last month. It's now $29.46. They went up $500 on that lens. Let me catch up right here real quick. Interesting, Ray. Production in China is typically reserved for more affordable products. I relate that to consumer type cameras. Yeah, Folk Art and Camera said everybody who wanted a ZF has one. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting camera body. But anyways, The 180 to 600 was $20.46 last month, and now it's $21.96. I mean, when it first came out, how much was it? $17.96 when it first came out. I got one of the first ones when it came out. Now look at it; it's gone up quite a bit in price. The 600 PF, $51.96, $51.96. Okay, so the new price of that did not increase. Let's jump out there real quick and look at that. Okay, let's go pull up a Nikon 600. Yeah, it's still $51.96. They have not raised the price of that as of today. So that's confusing to me. Okay, you've got that, and then you got this. Okay. That to me, I consider that high-end glass, pro glass myself. Don't you? The Nikon 70-200Z lens, $22.96. It's now $28.96, up $600. The Nikon 24-120, I was not tracking it last month. I don't know what it was, but right now it's $11.46. The 14-30 is $13.96. Let's just call it $1,400. And the Nikon 105Z is now $11.46. I didn't pay that for mine. I bought mine and it wasn't that much. Okay, I think I got mine for about $890. The Nikon Z f1.8 is $667. That's not bad for a 50mm. And then the 20mm that Kevin just bought stayed the same, because I know it was about $11.46. I don't think it really went up much. Okay. Dropping into the F mounts, the PF stayed the same. I would consider that a prosumer, almost pro. You know, on the teeter-totter there, it stayed the same, $35.97. If you want to buy a used one from MPB, you can buy one for $18.69. They do have one. I did check yesterday, and they did have one, and that's usually in excellent condition. Most of my used prices are based on excellent condition. And then if you want to sell them your 500 PF, they'll give you $1,180 for it. Yeah, like crazy. I'm not doing that. I have the 500 PF. In fact, tomorrow I'm going hiking. I'm doing a hiking marathon here in Tennessee, and I put the 500 PF on the Z8, and I'm going to slap my cotton carrier on and carry it in front of me tomorrow, because the hike that I'm going to supposedly has a bunch of GOii weed, and there's a bunch of, and that's not marijuana either, and a bunch of butterflies is what I heard. Okay, a friend of mine told me that today. The Nikon 200-500. You can buy it new for $15.46. It went up about $50. Not much, just a little bit. And the 16-35, which that lens is probably nearly near the end of cycle. No price increase on it, $7.46. And the 70-200 FLED was $19.96. Okay, now it's $25.46. $600 increase. And let's see, the 12-24 went down in price, a surprise, $11.46 to $9.46. Okay, so I added a few more lenses. I'm going to start tracking some aftermarket stuff. I got a Viltrox 16mm f1.8, the 20mm f2.8, and the 27mm 1.2 APS-C DX lens. I'm going to start tracking those too. Anyways, as you can see, all right, the prices are all over the board, but they're kind of shockers if you're looking for a higher end camera body. How long is it going to last? I don't know if it'll ever come back down. Okay, you know, it's probably about just as sad as what's going on with DJI, all right, in the drones and stuff. I mean, you can't even get those drones in the United States right now, and I don't know what's going to happen with those. I'm a big drone guy. I have a DJI Air 3, and I have a DJI Mini 4 Pro. I bought the Mini 4 Pro in March when I got whiff of the tariffs, and I'm glad I did, because shortly after that you could not get the Mini 4 Pros. That was like the first one they quit selling, was that one. So we got here, Ray says the NIKKOR Z 180-600 VR quantity 1 $1699.95. What was that? Is that how much it came? Is that how much it was selling for when it was new? Because that's not how much it's selling for now. We'll go out here to B&H and have a look. Let me go out here real quick and show you. Pull that up on the screen so you can see it. And get that right. $21.96 today. Are you telling me that was? Oh, that was new when it was first released. Is that what you're saying to me? Or you found it somewhere for $16.99? That's clarify that. So here's your buyer strategy. Okay, September, October. Oh, from your purchase, Ray. I want to say I paid $16.99 for mine also. Okay, I bought it from Murphy's when it came out, and I mean it was only about 2 months after its release I got it. I got on the waiting list, and they called me and said, "Hey, we got one. You want it?" And I said, "Yeah," and I paid for it, and they shipped it down here. Folk Art and Camera said September, October pricing always looks stiff. Sale price will come again. I hope you're right, okay? But I'm just tracking the news here. I'm just tracking what's going on right now. So, yeah. Now, one of the things, I did some research here, and one of the things that you're suggesting is this. Check buyer strategy. Check used and refurbished, okay? Sony has the richest used market. I don't know what that means. It means they have the most or they have the most expensive. The Canon refurb store often drops 15 to 20% discounts, and the Nikon USA refurb deals come in waves, and that's true. They're probably this year, they've been coming about once a month. You'll see, I get an email. If you sign up on Nikon's website to get these emails, they will send you an email when the refurbs come out. And I've covered the refurbs in my gear programs before. Consider alternate retailers. Now that's a possibility. Some retailers like Amazon EU or Japan importers still have pre-hike stock. Okay, so if you can find it on Amazon, it's a reputable place. Like I think I got something off of Amazon not too long ago. Yeah, it was the cotton carrier. The cotton carrier I bought through Amazon came from Adorama. They shipped it direct from Georgia up here to Tennessee to me. Adorama did. Yeah, prioritize lenses. If you already own glass, it's cheaper to stick with your brand and upgrade bodies later. I personally, I don't have any bodies that I want to upgrade. I'm really happy with what I got, and I accomplished all that. I accomplished all that before I retired. Okay, I don't have a big budget for camera gear. Most of my budget goes into traveling. All right, and that's what it should be. You should be paying to go places than, plunking down a lot of money on camera gear. Ray said, I used my MPS for priority shipping and got it right away. Okay. Anybody want to sell me a 35 1.2 for cheap? You want to go out and see if they got one on MPB? Let's do that real quick. You want me to do that? Let me run out there real quick. Okay, let me get you back on the screen so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to run out to MPB and see if we can get Ray a lens. Okay. So he's looking for a Nikon 35, what do you call it, a 1.8? So that'd be a Z mount. Is that a Z mount? I'm looking. Yeah, 1.8S. Oh, you could buy a used one. Here you go, Ray. $650 for like new, $634 for excellent. What's included? You get the front lens cap, the lens hood, original packaging. That's unheard of, okay? So, yeah, you can go out there and get one on the cheap there for $649. Now, brand new, okay, let's see what they are brand new. You probably already know this. Go to B&H and check it out. 35, 1.8. Oh, it's only $896. You can afford that. Okay. Oh, you want f1.2? Oh, excuse me. Okay. Well, let's go look at it real quick. 35 1.2. This one. Oh, they got one. Oh no, they don't have any at MPB. It's out of stock there. But if you go to B&H, okay. Oh gosh, $3,000 for a lens. What are you gonna use that for, Ray? Yeah, I just can't do it, man. So the money I was saving, and I was saving for that 100 to 400. The money that I was saving, I'm just going to leave it in the bank, okay? Because I'm not spending $3,000 for a 100 to 400. I don't need it that bad. But I kind of wanted to add it to my landscaping collection. For my landscaping, I have the 14 to 30, the 24 to 120, and I wanted to add the 100 to 400 for that, but I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, sorry about that, Nikon. I would love to do that, but I can't. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, here's some more news. Nikon released a new firmware today for the 50mm 1.8S lens. Firmware 1.11. Okay. I watched a video on it today. I'm not too sure what it corrected or anything. And, you know, basketball. He shoots basketball with that. Okay. So you put it on your Z9, do you? Is that what you do? Put on your Z9? Let's see, there's something else I wanted to show y'all tonight. Yeah. Okay, listen. In the link to the video, in the description of the video, there's a link to this. Okay, let me pull it up on the screen so you can see it. The Lightroom Virtual Summit. Now, every year I've tried to set in on these programs. It's coming up on September the 15th. It's free. The catch is this here. It's free to watch them now. But if you want to have access to them later, they have a pay part that you can pay to do that. But you can watch the presentations live now. So I haven't tried this yet, but you know, sometimes this is what I do. If there's something going on the computer screen and I want to record it so I can watch it later and it's not going to be available to me later, then I'll use OBS. And I'll fire up OBS, do a screen capture like I'm doing right now, and I'll record it internally on my computer. That way I can watch it later. I've done that several times. You cannot do that with YouTube movies. On the YouTube movie channel, they blank out the something happens, but they blank out the audio or something. I don't know how they do it, but I use OBS and record these, and then I can watch them later if I want to, if I find it interesting enough. Another way to do it is to watch it on your phone. And if you have an iPhone, you can do a screen recording on your iPhone and record it in your iPhone. I've done that too. Folk art and camera. See, Ray says, I did buy the 50 1.2 and it brought me back to the 50 prime. You wasn't thrilled with the 50 1.8? Or, I mean, I think the 51, I have it, the 51.8, I think it's a really sharp lens. Maybe you weren't happy with it shooting basketball. Yeah, so Folk Art and Camera says, look at the 28 to 400 instead. Let's do that, okay? Let's go over there. I didn't even check that one. That might be another one to add to my list. 28 to 400. Oh, I can afford that. Okay, so, yeah, all right. I appreciate that. 28 to 400. The 28 to 400 is good, he says, and I trust him. Hey, if y'all get a chance, check out his channel, Folk Art and Camera. He does a lot of gear stuff over there, and I enjoy watching him. He's over on the Pacific Coast, Washington State, I believe is where he's at. But I'm going to write this down, the 28 to 400. Okay, I need to put that on my price list too. 1446. That's not bad. Yeah, it goes from f4 to f22, and all the way from f4 to f8 on the zoom in. So it's a 400 f8. Be pretty good for a landscape lens. Takes a 77mm filter thread. That's pretty cool. Thanks for that tip. I wouldn't have known to look at that. Tony Blackwell says he uses the 28-400 and it suits his needs well. Well, hey, there's 2 votes right there. Maybe I'll be getting a 28-400. Okay. Do you guys think the 28-400 would be a replacement for the 24-120 f4? I mean, I don't use the 24-120 because of the f4. I use it because of the 24-120. And it came with my Z8, and I like the lens. I've shot some really good landscape stuff with that. Let me pull up something here. I'll show you something I shot the other morning. If you're on my Facebook page, you would have seen this. Let me go over here and pull this up real quick. Let me show you a photograph I did. Where am I? Oh, here I am. Gosh. Where are they at? Oh, Facebook. So I'm going to show you a photograph I shot using the 24-120 and the Z8. All right. And let me turn my camera off just for a second. I just happened to catch this one morning over near my house, about 20 miles from my house. It's a power plant, and it's a long exposure, probably about 3 to 6 seconds, somewhere in that area, with an ND6 filter on it. And that was with the 24-120. I think it's a dynamite lens. I really like it a lot. Okay. I shot this with the 24-120. Let me show you this one here. This one here is part of my next video I'm doing on nightscape photography. And I was down there. They just opened this restaurant, this cookout. And I was down there in the daytime scoping it out and actually talked to the manager a little bit. But look how the 24-120 produces okay starburst. You know, this is probably at f7.1. I think it was f8. If I'd stopped it down a little bit more, it might have got better. But I don't consider it a stellar starburst lens, you know, but it looks pretty cool, you know. It's not bad. Anyways, let's see what they're saying now. Walt loves the 24-120. It's lightweight. Folk Art Camera says it's lightweight. I wish I didn't like shooting sports so much. I'm stuck on fast, expensive glass because of it. Well, if it's your bread and butter, Ray, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, you know, and I believe it is your bread and butter, isn't it? So Tony says, I bought the 28-400 to fill the gap after the 24-120 without selling an organ, and don't use that up to the 400 range very often. No, I don't see myself doing that either, but I would use it beyond the 120, the 24-120 capability. I had a 70-200 for a while, and I did use it for landscape photography, and I even used it with a teleconverter for a while, so I did have a little more reach on it. 28-400 is 1, lightweight, 2, nice enough output. It doesn't replace the 24-120 though. Okay, I get you. Okay, so yeah, Folk Art and Camera will know because he has Z9s and Z8s, or his wife has a Z9. He's got Z8s in the house. He's got a Z6 III. He's got a bunch of different lenses and stuff. Like I said, you need to check out his channel because when he talks about gear, about what he's done and what he's doing, you need to pay attention to what he says. Anyway, let's see if I got anything else I want to say. For you Canon guys, and I'm not a Canon guy, you know that. I'm Nikon, but for you Canon guys, I found a YouTube channel that you might be interested in, and let me show that to you real quick. And I don't know. You may already know who this person is. Let me get some of these windows closed so I can find him. YouTube. I'll show it to you in just 1 second as I pull it up. I found him today, and I was listening to one of his videos on. He was talking about Canon gear. I don't think it's that. No, wrong guy. No, that's not it. So it is photo. I feel like David over here playing with my keyboard while you guys are watching me. At J. I'm not sure if it, yeah, this is him. Let me show it to you real quick. This guy right here, Joseph Blake Photography. His channel name is at Jake Photo, J Blake Photo, I guess is what it is. He does gear reviews, and there's his channel description right there. But when you look at his channel, he's mostly he is Canon. Okay, he's got a lot of different Canon reviews in here, tons of them. So you know, if you're looking for a Canon photography website that talks about gear strictly, it looks like he talks a lot about gear. He's got 22,000 subscribers, 433 videos. Okay, I'll stick a link in the description of this live stream. You can find him down there next to that Lightroom Summit stuff. But he's got a whole bunch of stuff in there. Okay. Anyways, how many of you have seen the new DJI Mini 3 microphones that came out this week? Jeb and Dovey, he's not really happy with them, okay? He did a video today on that. And I'm not in the mood for upgrading. I've got the DJI Mic 2s, and I'm very happy with those. And I got the original DJI mics that I still use, and I'm very happy with those. Well, while I was, yeah, you have an oldie 180 to 200. That was one of my first lenses when I bought my D1X, was that lens right there, along with the 17 to 35 f2.8. I shot weddings for a whole year with a D1X and a 17 to 35 f2.8. It never let me down. Yeah, Phil Thatch, you can check out his channel too. He's got a lot of videos on there, but he does Sony, Nikon, and Canon, and I think he's going to come up with a fourth brand pretty soon. So I'll put a link to his channel in my description also of this. You know, if you don't know who Phil is, or if somebody's watching this after the fact. And anyways, well, listen, guys, I just wanted to get back on here and kind of go over some of the Nikon price increases. If something changes between now and the fall, I'll do another one. I like doing these price comparisons and, you know, letting you know what's out there. I was really shocked by some of the price increases, but, you know, hopefully it'll go down, you know. Look up the Boya Magic microphone. Why do I want to look at that up? The Boya Magic microphone. I got to go see what he's talking about now. I guess you can buy that on B&H or Amazon. The Boya, let me see how it says. Boya Magic microphone. Okay, I'm looking. Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay, so it's a wireless microphone system. Okay, new release. The Boya Magic 2-person wireless microphone system for cameras and mobile devices. Interesting. I'm looking at this for a minute. It comes with 2 transmitters, AI noise cancellation, 30-hour battery life, plug-in USB-C and camera mount receiver. He's only got one picture up there, so I'm not too sure. This looks like a cover right here that kind of flips over. And, oh, I see. Here's the microphones. So this cover protects the microphones. And where's the, is this the transmitter right here? This big blocks right here? This is pretty interesting. Did you get one of these, Ray? It's on B&H. New item coming soon. Okay, so let's go out on the web and see. Okay. Did you get one of these, or you just found out about them? I've had my microphones, let's see, they're on Amazon. Yeah. So the Magic Mic, is this it right here? Magic 05 wireless lavalier. Looks the same to me. Is that it? Is that the one, Ray? That one right there? So what Walt say? Everything that goes up will go down at some point in the future. Well, I sure hope so. Cars haven't. Okay, not back to what they used to be. So my mentality on that subject is that I will catch you in the next corner. Oh, much better information. Okay, Google it, he says. So we'll Google it. Boya Magic microphone. How much was the Kickstarter? Let me find. You know, one thing I noticed when you do a search, you got to drill down about 5 different sites before you get to the real site. Okay, don't get tricked by that. I did once. So this looks like their official site. Okay, I'm going to decline. So let's see what they got. Boya Magic. One mic, 4 forms. Watch the full video. Okay.
Small, versatile, and ready to switch things up.
Can you hear that?
This is Boya Magic, the transformable AI-powered mini wireless microphone. One mic, 4 forms. Clip it on to start. At just 7 grams, it keeps a low profile on camera.
Sir, quick question. What food
Press the power on and start interviewing before anyone else.
That's pretty cool.
Captures 360 sound, clear and steady for meetings or podcasts. Ready to shoot wherever you go.
Dude, I'm literally getting bedtime my winks right now. Look at this.
Even in noise response, AI noise cancellation instantly cleans your voice.
Yep, stuck on the subway right now. Gotta be my back's round across town.
The smart limiter kicks in before it clips. Plus, a -12 decibel safety track has your back. Boya Magic. Truly transformable. Truly AI powered. Wherever you shoot, it fits right in.
That's pretty cool. You know, there's a lot of microphones out there. Did you get yours already, Ray? Has it already arrived to you on your Kickstarter? Kind of curious about that and what the sound is like. Catch up with David, interview him, okay? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off here, and it's about time for me to go to bed. And we'll do this again. If it happens again, okay, do another gear roundup. Yeah, I've been playing with it, and he says it works extremely well. Well, that's good to know, okay? It seemed pretty reasonable. You know, if you're buying it, if it's available, it must be available on Amazon already. Right here it is. I mean, it says it's only $90. Is that right? Is it only $90? Because that's pretty reasonable compared to what's out there nowadays. If it's good. Maybe you'll have to do a review video on it. Okay, well, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming by. Mr. Folk Art and Camera, we'll talk to y'all later. Yeah, thank you, Ron. Thank you there. Thank you for the compliments. Okay, guys. I'm going to get off here. I see a guy in Boise, Craigslist, selling a 100 to 400 for $1,800. Yeah, we'll see. He's in Iowa. You got all the receivers. I'll check it out, Ray. Okay, I'm gonna make a note here to check that out. I may be wanting to put another microphone in my pocket. I have really good luck with the DJI Mic 2s. In fact, tonight, just so you know, I'm live streaming with my Osmo Pocket 3, which I always do. It's an excellent camera for this. And I'm using a DJI Mic 2 setting on a little, here, let me give you a little behind the scenes right here. I've got a magic arm, a small rig magic arm clamped to the desk right here in front of me. So the microphone's right here, but I got it just out of sight of camera view so you can't see it, just like that, okay? And I've actually got two of these Mic 2s, and the reason why is I have a DJI Osmo Action 4 that will take the Mic 2. So I have one for that camera, and I you know, sometimes I put the Osmo Action 4 on my e-bike or on my kayak. Especially I take it out on my kayak. So when I'm on the kayak and I'm doing kayak videos, I'm using a DJI Mic 2. Now the DJI Mic 1s, they come in a, they're in the, here they are. I keep those with my drone, my DJI Air 3, and they come in the normal. This is the first set I bought, and it's just got the regular, you know, transmitter and or receiver and two transmitters. But I have a USB, the USB-C thing is on there. So I am able to plug this into my iPhone 16 Pro Max or my DJI RC2 controller. When I record my screen on my RC2 controller, I'm able to talk, and you can hear me talking. And if you want to see some of those drone videos where I do that, I've got another channel where I keep my drone videos. It's over on another channel called Tennessee Drone. You can go over there and check them out. I do a lot of different drone flights and stuff over there. That channel's not monetized at all. You know, it's just drone videos. It doesn't have a whole lot of subscribers on it. It's just places where I like to put my drone videos and keep them separate from my photography channel. But I do use the DJI Mic, the first version, for that purpose. And another thing I use it for, okay, since it has this here, is I'll hook it up to like the Z50 Mark II when I'm doing presentation recordings, and I've done several of those where I put one of these mics on the presenter and stand back with my Z50 Mark II on a tripod and film him or her. And then I'll take the other mic, and somebody in the audience has a question. They're instructed ahead of time to wait for me to get there, and I'll go over to where they're at and hold the other microphone in front of them, so we capture their question in the video presentation, which is pretty cool, okay? So that's what I use these for a lot. I also have a set of Rode Wireless Go 2 microphones. I really like those too. I've got the original version. That was the first thing I bought, the very first set of mics I bought when I bought my first Osmo Action, based on what Phil Thatch told me to buy. And I've had those for a long time too. So I've got like 3 sets of mics already, so I'm not too sure I really need any. Anyways, hey, listen, we'll talk to y'all later.